Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, studying the Psalms verse by verse. I like to call this the finest Bible bistro on the internet. Come on in, sit down. We've got some good stuff cooked up for you today here in Psalm 18. We've been studying Psalm 18, verses 21 through 30 this week, and today we come to verses 23 and 24. I just want to remind you that we have apps available for your phone, whether you have an iPhone or a Google Android device. You can find the app for Daily Dose Radio in the App Store or in the Google Play Store. So if you just go there and check it out, you'll find us there. Just type in Daily Dose Radio, those 3 words, and we'll pop right up. You'll see the picture of the Bible. Actually, that's my Bible, my grandfather's Bible. And you'll see the picture of the Bible there, and that's Daily Dose Radio. Just add that to your phone. It's free, no charge whatsoever. Just get it, put it on. You'll have all the episodes right there at your fingertips. Today we're looking at 23-24. Let me read those for you. So I will be complete with him, and will keep myself from iniquity. So the Lord will restore me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands before his eyes. All right, let's look at verse 23 to start with. So I will be complete with him, and will keep myself from iniquity. There are some words actually here that I keep thinking of Job chapter 1. The word there in the Hebrew word there in verse 22, I have not turned aside. That word, the verb that's translated, that I've translated turned aside, is the same word that is used in Job chapter 1 to describe Job as a man who has skewed evil. Here, for the psalmist, he's eschewing, or he's saying, I have not eschewed the statutes. I have not turned away from them. Here again we have in verse 23 another one of those words that reminds me of holy Job, because we have this word complete. It's the word for perfection or completeness, wholeness. And of Job it said that he was upright, he was perfect, he feared God, and he eschewed evil. And so here's that same Hebrew word, I will be complete with him. So with him I am complete. Isn't that lovely? And that's just right, isn't it? I mean, it's just perfect. With him, without him, I'm not complete. Only he completes me. And notice the second phrase there in 23, and will keep myself from my iniquity. You know, the Puritans taught, and they wrote a lot about personal piety, they taught that for every man and for every woman, there was a bosom sin. And that bosom sin was the thing that sparkled brighter than anything else. It was the luster of the bosom sin was greater than the gold of Ophir. You know, it was that thing that attracted us more than anything else. And it's different for every person. So I don't know what your particular bosom sin is, but my iniquity is different from your iniquity, the thing that attracts us. And if I'm going to keep myself from it, what do I need? Well, I need, number one, him. That's the first thing. Secondly, I need the Word of God, verse 22. All his judgments set before me, his statutes, I've not turned aside from them. Then, able to keep the way of the Lord and not wickedly depart from my God. So, all of those add up to what we have there at the end of 23. And will keep myself from my iniquity. How does that happen? It happens because I'm complete with him. And then verse 24, as I said yesterday, I kind of teased you with this. Verse 20, if you compare verse 20 and verse 24, they're almost exactly the same, except for where they're not. So they're the same, but they're not. There's some very significant words that are repeated here, phrases that are repeated here. So the Lord will restore me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands before his eyes. Go back and look at 20, and you'll see how they compare. And what that does for us is that 20 and 24 actually make a section, a unit, beginning in 20, ending in 24, which is a very important device that the psalmist uses. So now tomorrow, as we begin looking at 25 and 26, we'll see that we have a different thought now that comes in. Okay? So join me tomorrow. We'll look at verses 25 and 26 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.